So this is Han Solo's chair from the movie Blade Runner. Amazing. Everybody knows at this point, anybody that's subscribing to these videos likely knows what a giant, not only Harrison Ford fan I am, but also Blade Runner specifically. Probably my favorite film now as an adult. Certainly in my top 3, 5, however you count them. This collection that you guys have brought in is amazing. I mean, we have 2 of the pieces here. We'll talk a little bit about the collection and the collector. But I love this, that the director's chair from the movie, Harrison Ford's cast chair. I will say the thing that sort of amused me in seeing this. I saw this at your exhibition that you guys did a couple of months ago with the Blade Runner screening. Is for a film where it rains for 2 hours straight, it's kind of amazing that they chose to use leather director's chairs. I mean, this is not
the only leather director's chair
I've never seen one before.
Right, and it's like the wettest, dampest movie.
Maybe that's why. Maybe this started and also put an end to the leather director's chair. Just a funny little detail. And then here we also have the A-camera clapperboard. Director Blank Scott. I wonder who that was. And with the sound and DOP's name on it. And just great. This is an acrylic board, some Velcro here.
It's gorgeous. It's so crude. It's exactly what you'd expect from that era. And I know you've got a B board.
Yeah, I have a B board, which is made exactly the same way with the sort of cut out gaffer's tape to make all of the letters and fonts. It's just
so. Is an A board an upgrade for you, or is it
so? I mean, my board is actually. It's already in my collection, which is one of the best features of it.
You don't have to buy it again.
Correct. My board is actually, I'm sure this matches somewhere. My board is matched to Dangerous Days, the making of
terrific.
The BTS making of documentary. And it's actually a scene in the Bradbury building, which is where my costume is from. So there's all sorts of stuff that I love about it. Not the least of which is I don't have to chase something, an auction that I don't have. But this is lovely. And another Blade Runner collector, perhaps the one that outbid me on the Batty jacket, could win this and add it to his or her collection.
That would be nice.
But it's just...
it is gorgeous. That's a great piece.
It's just great. So there's another thing I want to talk about, but we should talk about the collector.
Sure,
so
we should.
This is a collection that you brought in.
It's a big deal for the family. You know, this is all from the collection of a guy called Jeff Hutchins. He was to say you're a Blade Runner fan is one thing. This guy, he was obsessed. Absolutely loved these movies. This movie, I should say, and he dedicated his life. He spent so much of his time looking out for props and costumes later on when he had the budget. But he would collect magazines, videotapes, games, toys, posters, absolutely everything. And Jeff, a good friend of ours, back in the day, right when Propstore started, he was a customer of ours. And sadly, he died in 2016. And I think the family have been agonising over how what to do with this, because it's such an important part of their lives as well. Because as a byproduct of Jeff's collecting, they became involved as well, and they all love the movie too. And it's you got to meet them at the screening we did.
Yeah,
and for us, it was all about showing this collection off, exhibiting it that one last time together. So that people just get an appreciation of what Jeff was, and he archived this stuff, he preserved this stuff, he looked after it, and now we're privileged to present it to new people are going to love
future collectors.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, it's such a even for a prop collection, it's such a nerdy collection in the best of ways.
Yeah.
And the things that he gravitated to and collected, and all the little pieces of art and the little bits of set decoration, and everything in that film was made bespoke for that movie. Again, it's a Ridley Scott movie. He's not taking anything off the shelf. And I love all the things that Jeff gravitated towards, because it just shows his love for the film. The costume continuity binder, which isn't here, but it's just such an amazing piece of Blade Runner history. I mean, it's one of those things you would love to see Toshin make a consumer products book out of the costume continuity book, so that everybody that loved Blade Runner could enjoy it. It's a great collection, and I think the for me, my favorite piece in the collection is right behind me.
Right,
So
Zora, yeah, terrific.
you move over.
I think we all talk about the Deckard costume and the Rutger Hauer costume, and they're all wonderful. But for me, and it sounds like for you as well, that this clear coat and that scene coming through the window, the plate glass window, as Deckard takes her out, it's just one of those scenes in movies that stays.
It stays with you, yeah, for sure. And this scene is sort of infamous within the making of the movie in itself, right? Because Ridley was never happy with it, and you saw this. You could clearly see that it wasn't Joanna Cassidy going through the glass; that it was the stunt woman. So they actually fixed this in the final cut. When they did the film, it was actually one of my least favorite fixes. I think in this sort of repairing of Blade Runner as we went on, it's one of the things I wish they had left it as was from the director's cut, because I think just that sort of movie magic of just it being the stunt person. To me.
I was just so immersed in that scene
because you're engrossed in it, exactly. But it's kind of amazing, and it's funny because we think of Harrison Ford, we think of Indiana Jones, we think of Han Solo as these heroic characters, roguish heroes, but heroes, and then you have Deckard, who's this hard-boiled, probably alcoholic detective roaming the streets of L.A. and shooting women in the back. I mean, it's really it was such a dark character turn from him. And it's one of the things I love about the movie is how unneat and unheroic it is. And there are trappings in that movie that make you Harrison Ford being one of them, his blaster and his detective's trench coat and all that. But this is an incredibly dark sci-fi noir film, sort of for grown-ups, and I think this scene, is speaks to that possibly better than anything else. And this costume is going to be a wonderful add.
It's great, and the display stand's done. It's ready to go. I mean, it looks incredible.
So the bloodstained tunic and the brassiere and the spiky boots. It's a lovely piece, and just speaks to the Ridley Scott's design aesthetic, and also the Charles Node, the costume designer, what he brought to the film. And this film has been aped and copied and redone for 40 years, essentially.
Never bettered.
Yeah, exactly. Science fiction design things would not be the same without Blade Runner in our lives.